Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you the 4 new shades from Clionadh that I just received, and at the end I'll quickly swatch the 6 that I had from them before, just because I might make references to them and just because they're so pretty. I think everyone should want to look at them. So right now I just want to start in on showing you these beautiful colors. So this one is Hilt, and I'll do an arm swatch and then I'll also put them on my lid. What I did last time that I thought worked out is I'll use a finger across my mobile lid and then I'll use a brush and take it up a little bit higher just so you can kind of see both. And then of course, I always like to take you into lighting. So I'm going to walk towards my window all through my house so you can see it through the dark hallway, because sometimes I'm impressed with how you can actually see more of the shiftiness almost in dark places than actually out in real lighting. This Hilt, the description of it is it's a blue base with orange, pink, yellow shifts. So hopefully you saw that. And this one is $15.84, and it is one of their electric multichromes. I also want to say I did use a code and got a percentage off when I used these. It was just one that I found on the internet. It wasn't even somebody that I follow. I tried to use one from someone that I do watch on Instagram, but it just didn't seem to want to take it or work. So I don't know if they sometimes expire, but so I'm not even going to give you this one just in case it does too. I just went on to Instagram and went to the hashtag area where you could just hashtag Clionadh Cosmetics and then scrolled through a few of the people's looks until I found one that had a code with theirs, and I entered it and used it. So because I knew that there were codes out there, I just didn't know how to exactly find them other way, and yeah, that worked for me. The next one that I bought is Niello, and this is a dusty purple base with gold lime aqua shifts, and this is also an electric multichrome. Your paws are going to have multichrome shadow on them now. This one to me looks a little bit more glittery than the other one and just a little bit more sheer. I know I'm not talking through this part, but it's really because I sped up this whole area, so I would sound very chipmunky even if I did play it. And I make it this long though because I really do feel like it's cool to be able to see all the different colors in the different lightings. And when I'm watching videos, I actually enjoy looking at it and seeing those. In fact, sometimes when I'm watching videos that I actually have to watch, because it's not just about hearing, I have to pause and wait till I'm actually sitting in bed watching it. So if you have to do that, that's okay. My next one is Mural. This one is $16.59. This one is an electric multichrome. This one says that it is a mint base with orange, peach, yellow, lime shifts. These first 3 are so different from others that I already had, and I don't feel like they show off as pretty just in the pictures. I feel like though they are what I needed to complete other looks. When I've done a whole eye look and then I think, ooh, I wish that I had a multichrome here that I could swipe over my lid and that would be so much prettier. I put a lot of thought into these three and I liked them. Mural is the top one. Niello is the middle one. Hilt is the bottom of those three. And I feel like it is just hard to explain how much different they are than other shadows. They feel like silk. Like when you rub your finger across it, it feels like you're rubbing your finger across a piece of silk. My last one here is Forge. It is the jeweled multichrome. This one is 1886. Also, these can change a few cents every day. I think probably because it's like a Canadian company that it'll bounce around just with the conversion. Like it might stay $25 there, but then, you know, one day it might be 1886 here, and one day it might be 1889 here, and one day it might be $19. Just, you know, thought I'd share that. This one reminds me of the Smolder color that I have. That is my favorite one. So that's why I wanted to get this one. I feel like where this, like, that you can see this kind of rustier red color here. I feel like the Smolder one is more of a magenta, like a brighter purpley pink. So I thought this maybe would still do the same shiftiness that I like, just be a little more muted, which sometimes I kind of like muted colors. This one has more of a black base, so I do feel like it looks better when I just use my finger. I do think that when you use the brush with some of these that have the black base, it mutes it out too much and you don't get as strong of a shift, like just the kind of black base comes up. So in the swatch, when I'm looking through on this one, you might see more of a difference between where I did it with my finger and where I did it with the brush. This one, it says it shifts from rose, orange, gold, lime, and teal. The other thing I want to make sure and say is that I do think there's something with the pigments. You know, they cost more to make. They're so compact. You need such a tiny little amount to make such a beautiful swatch that, you know, I have used these so many times and I still, you know, I'm nowhere near hitting pan. You know, I barely have made a dent in the shadows themselves. So I really like what this one's looking like right now in my viewfinder anyway. This time when I did the order, I also wanted to try one of their nail polishes. So this one was called Warped. It is kind of multi-chrome with like some glitter, but it also is one that you could use the magnets on to bring up different colors. I don't have any nail magnets, so I just used like a kitchen refrigerator magnet to try it out. And so it wasn't the right kind, but I could tell that it worked some. I just couldn't make any fancy designs. And it's still, I think, a really pretty color, even if you don't have a magnet at all. But like this one, and I did these, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago, has a little bit more of the burgundy to it where I set the magnet on it, where the rest of them look a little bit more of the purple. Hopefully you can tell that. Yeah, I think this is a really pretty color. I'm pleased with it. This cost $12.81, but I like it. How I feel about the Clionadh eyeshadows that I have is that I'm so happy that I have them. They are my favorite shadows that I use. When I go on vacations, I don't always take all of them because I am scared that like I will break them somehow in the traveling process, or I will lose my luggage and they will all disappear. And it's like, I don't want to take the chance of all of that happening. So I'll only take maybe 3 of them, which is kind of funny to me. But they are so expensive that I also have a hard time justifying to myself that I am spending, you know, $15, $18, $19 on one single shadow, even though I love them enough that I'm always happy that I did after that initial purchase, and the money is gone. But it is something that I feel like I don't even remember how many months went by, you know, 9 or something since the last time that I did a Clionadh order where I'd done the other 6 shadows. This time I did 4 shadows and the nail polish. But I do feel like it's one of those things that every now and then when I feel like maybe I have birthday money that I want to spend and don't have to justify, or just whatever it is. This is how I think right now I would rather spend my money than buying more palettes where I don't love each and every color that's in it, where I'm not using them. But I mean, again, I just did the Temu haul that I was pretty happy with. That was, you know, $50 for like 21 products. And I liked that too. Where this was more expensive than that, but I only got 4 eyeshadows. But these 4 shadows are going to be ones that I really like. I think like the 3 of them seemed so different, even though they kind of seemed the same as each other. They seemed more spring vibes, spring summer vibes, because they were light, and I feel like they'll be really pretty pops and shines in this spring and summer, where the other ones that I had were more darker jeweled colors, except for maybe 2 of them. But one of them that is probably my most used one, even though it's not my favorite one, is this one that is Monarch. And I've never figured out how to add the clip to send you to another video of mine, so you'd maybe just have to find it. But if you do, I did very in-depth, again, eye swatches with these other 6, which I'm not going to do. You know, now I'm gonna do a quick arm swatch. But this one is just so pretty. I feel like when I mix it with other eyeshadow looks, it's like a nice lid color pop that I think always looks pretty. So that's why it's my most used one. My favorite one out of the other 6 was this Smolder one. That is the one that I think is going to be a lot like this Flame Blown, just because you could really see the shift so much in it. I liked wearing this because I could just basically put it on my whole mobile lid and then just blend in like one other color in my transition. And I felt like it was just a really pretty look because of the different shifts. It looked like I'd done a lot of work creating several different shades. I would also put these 2 together and, you know, just put this one like on the inner half and that one on the outer half. And I always thought that was actually pretty together also. This one is Flame Blown. It's pretty, but honestly, I have not worn it very often. Probably because I liked the other ones that I had so much more that, and it wasn't like that I often needed something where I thought, no, I think definitely more bright purple is what I want to go with. It's still beautiful and I like it, but I wasn't using it when I had this one because I always wanted to use this one. This one is Oculus. This one, when I was just home for Easter, my middle daughter wore one day, so I took a picture of her. So I'm going to insert it. I'll play her over here or something. Because it looked so pretty and fun on her. It's also, I don't use it all that often just because it is so much darker and because I don't really go with blues and purples. I sometimes use greens, but this is in such a dark green, and because it goes into blues and purples, I just don't find myself using it that much, even though, again, I think it's gorgeous and definitely looks pretty on my daughter. This one was Coat of Arms. It kind of switches between like a blue and a red. But again, I don't use it as often as I use the other ones. I've probably used it more than the last 2 that I showed you, but maybe just because it is lighter. My last one is Chandelier. This one I like to use as like an inner corner highlight, and I do that pretty often just because I think it's a pretty color and I don't have a lot of other inner corner highlights that I love. But this one is often on other people's favorite list when I watch them do videos, but some of that is because it doesn't have the base color, so you can put down whatever under it and then it shifts with that. So let's just see here. If I would put down, let me redo it over here. Oh, let me layer. Yeah, see, the thing is, I just don't see what other people can get it to do. Because to me, that looks like I made it shiny, but I don't see, maybe I do a little bit there now, that it like picks up different color. All right, now, because I'm curious too, I'm gonna do this. Sometimes, like I said, different lighting will make it show up more. See, I feel like to do what other people act like it does for other colors, it would be changing these from, you know, a green to a pink on top of a base color. And I feel like I don't see that shift in color. Just feels silver to me. There's a little bit pink going on maybe. Well, anyway, that one, that is Chandelier. Still like it. I like to have a silver for my inner corner, even though it was supposed to look multi-chromed. Just not sure that it really does. Hopefully this video wasn't too long and boring for you. It's just that I really like shifty, sparkly shadows, and I like to watch people do the swatches and see them in different lights, and especially when I go to make purchases from the Clionadh website. Cutting in because I kind of wished that I would have shown these two next to each other more like this too. So the one is my old one, Smolder, that I always liked, and then my new one, Forged. So you can kind of see the difference. And we'll swatch them right next to each other too. So this one is Smolder, this one is Forged. I interrupted myself, but what I was saying was I like to keep this kind of video bookmarked in a watch later list so that when I want to make a Clionadh order, I go in and like really study each swatch and make notes and make sure, because when you're spending that much on each, I want to know I'm getting the best one, the best four I can get at the time. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for watching. And if you're new to my channel, thanks for subscribing. Bye.